Alright, so we're looking at the AutoCAD start screen. This is where you can see the recently opened documents. You guys should not have any recently opened documents. What you probably are going to see are some of the documents that are default load, sort of sample documents. To start a new drawing file, you can always select here where it says Start Drawing, but AutoCAD generally always gives you 3 or 4 ways to do anything. If you go over here to the big A, this big red A, which is actually off my screen at the top there, but you can see it on my computer. If I click that red A and come down to the word New, select New, I get this template file, and if I come down to AutoCAD, that is the simple template file for an AutoCAD file. That's the same file that opens if you hit Start Drawing. So either way will work. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a new drawing. Now, probably the biggest difference between my drawing file right now and yours is when you open up your drawing file, you have a black background in model space. I have already gone ahead and changed my background to be white simply because it's easier for you to see a white screen in the classroom with the lights off. You have a black screen. I'm going to run AutoCAD by myself and I'm making drawings on my own. I generally run with a black background. Okay? I just find it to be easier on my eyes. But up here I do this so you guys can see what's happening on my screen a little easier. Now, what you can see here, we have our Start menu, so I can always go back to that if I wanted to get back to that, my Start tab. And then I have my Drawing 3. You have a Drawing 1, because I've already opened 2 drawings today. This is now my drawing number 3. This is how I can get back and forth between different files. If I were to go up and open another file, and there's my new CAD file I'm going to open, this one's going to become Drawing 4, and I can move between these different drawings in the Start menu. Okay? So that's how you can manipulate between files. Coming across the top of the screen, this is our ribbon bar. This is where we find all of the CAD tools that we would be needing in this course. At the top of the ribbon bar, we have our Home tab, Insert, Annotate, there's Parametric, so forth and so on across the top. And what I want you to see is that we are most likely going to be utilizing Home and Annotate for the most work that we do in this course. This course right now is going to focus specifically in 2D drafting for the AutoCAD section. We're not going to get into 3D manipulation using AutoCAD right now. We'll end up doing that with Inventor. But what I want you to see is with these tools, we have a Draw toolbar, we have a Modify toolbar, Annotation toolbar, Layers, and we'll be going back and forth between these in the course. At the top, to run past that, to save a file, we go up to the big A. Come down, you can hit Save or Save As. There's Print, Publish, different tools that we're going to get to through the big A. There's also quick keys or quick tools up here for Save, Save As, Print. Little arrow here is an undo button, so anything you do that you don't want, you can hit the undo button. Okay. You can also utilize your command line, or I believe Control Z does an undo as well. So as I come down and around, moving down and around, over here, this is our view cube. And right now it is set to top. I'm going to just go ahead and select one of the corners and show you that my entire then view rotates. Okay, and you can see how my grid moves and changes. Okay, you can do a free movement where you can move your grid around. This is what would be a 3D manipulation when we start moving into 3D. Everything that we are going to do for the most part now is going to be from the top view. So if you were to move around the view cube and change your views, select the top and take it back to you can read the word top, and this is where we're going to be working for a majority of the course using the AutoCAD piece. Okay, so really don't need to flip around our UCS or our view. As we start to come back around at the top here, we do have the option to minimize, maximize, and close this file. Notice there's a difference between closing, minimize, and maximize, restore the AutoCAD session, which is up here, and then down here, this is actually file drawing number 3. Okay, so there's a difference between the two. Coming down this side, this is again for view manipulation. We really do not need to utilize these tools. The only tool I could see utilizing is the pan tool, but instead of having to come over here and select the pan tool, if you're over here in your model space and you press down your roller ball, okay, not left or right mouse click, not rolling the ball, but pressing it into the mouse, your mouse gets a little hand on it. And if you move your hand, you can pan back and forth and move the entire drawing. Very important tool that you will use as we move forward. As I keep coming down and around the screen, we're going to look down here at the bottom of the screen. These are our drafting tools. These are tools that are going to help us when we're drafting, whether we want to have our grid on and off, probably one of the first major view changes here. I generally draw with my grid off. You can keep your grid on or off. And then we'll go through and we'll talk about the rest of these tools as we move forward. Okay? Another major piece is the command line. And this is something that I want to take a few moments to discuss. Right now, your command line is floating like this in model space, correct? What I would like you to do, because I want you to be able to see more information available in the command line, what I'd like you to do is there are 3 options on the left-hand side. There are 2 lines that look like little grips, little dotted lines. Then there's an X, and then there's a wrench. I want you to be able to mouse over the 2 dotted lines all the way on the left-hand side. I want you to left-click on them, holding down the left mouse click, and you're going to drag the command line down to the bottom of the screen and almost push it off the screen until it extends all the way across with a box, and then let go. And what that is doing is you are docking the command line to the bottom of the screen. And what that allows you to see is the command line as well as the command that was just commanded, okay, or a command that was just executed. It's important to be able to see that. You can also then slide your cursor up until it becomes an extend cursor, and you can bring the command line up and you can see past commands. You can get in to see legacy commands. The command line is how you actually communicate with AutoCAD. Working with AutoCAD is really a communication. You ask AutoCAD to do something, AutoCAD asks you, what do you want me to do? You tell it something, it asks you a question. And this command line is really the interface between that question and answer with AutoCAD. Okay? So what we should do is to start drawing lines, what we'll do is we're going to head up here to our line tool. You guys can all see the line tool on your screens. Select the line tool, and what does your command line say to you? Well, it says specify first point. In order to start drawing any line, we just need to click somewhere. And I don't care where you click, just click somewhere. Just click. Now what we start to have is we start to have other tools becoming active around the line that we're drawing. The highlighted cell, the highlighted blue cell, is giving us the length of the line as we pull in real time. Then we can also see that there is an angle number. There is a command line number that says specify next point. And then if we move over top of a specified angle, you can see the green dotted line that will lock. That is your polar extents. So there's a lot of tools that are at your disposal to be able to draw however you would want to draw. Now I'm going to come down and turn off my grid so it's a little less cluttered and you can see what's happening here a little bit easier. So just want you to move around and take note of the tools that are popping up for you. If you hit tab, it toggles between the length and the angle. So you could input a specific angle, toggle back to do a specific distance. Okay? So for now, what I'd like you to do is pulling out on the 0 angle, I'd like you to type in the distance of 5 and then hit enter. Okay, we're going to come up. It's going to be 90 degrees. We're going to type in 5 and hit enter. And then we're going to come back 90 degrees. Or I should say it's 180 degrees. Enter. And then we're going to come down. And what I want you to take note of in this particular is I'm not going to type in 5 and hit enter. I'm going to roll in with my roller ball, pan so I can center my view here. And as I get closer to the end of that line, the green square that pops up, that is the end point O snap. That end point O snap, when that turns on, that is ensuring that the 2 lines that I'm going to draw are going to link together. So I can come down to that point, and then when it gets the O-snap turned on, I can click. By clicking, I finish drawing the line. And now I'm finished drawing, so I can end the command by hitting the escape key. And now what I've created is a 5 by 5 rectangle.